B-A-K-I-N-G, B-A-D-D-D, B-A-K-I-N-G, B-A-D-D-D, B-A-K-I-N-G, B-A-D-D-D, B-A-K-I-N-G, B-A-D-D-D, it's Bacon Band.
Oh, that was good. A little theme tune for us.
Yeah.
Bacon
And
Bad.
it gets in the podcast name, which is good because we usually forget to introduce the podcast until about 10 minutes in. So
Well, we had a nice preamble off air, so maybe now we can
get it out our system straight
get it
to
out of us.
the baking
Professionals.
This is Baking Bad. I'm Harry Monaghan.
Oh, hi, Harry Monaghan. I'm Ross Drummond. Who's this other handsome fellow stuffing his face?
Me. It's Sean Ford here.
Television's own Sean Ford.
Artist.
What are you eating, Sean? Artist in residence.
Oh, yes. I'm currently eating a bowl of popcorn. I don't know if you asked that. I just thought I'd point out.
Yeah.
What? You're... Oh, that's nice. Fancy little bowl you've got there.
Perfect for
Salted.
80s week. Would you
It
say?
is perfect for 80s week,
Popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Big in the 80s, do you reckon?
yeah. I reckon so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course it was.
I got love for you.
If you were born in the
In the
80s.
80s. And we found out that Peter was born in the year 2000, which is...
That blew my mind.
Disallowed.
That is-
No, thank you.
The year 2000 is my favourite year as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Millennium.
Millennium Dome. One.
Yeah.
Then you had the Millennium Wheel.
Did we talk about the Millennium Dome on this podcast?
We talk about it every week.
All we ever talk about is Bake Off, New Labour, and the Millennium Dome.
We got to make a point that you're right wing at some point. And then we
And
gotta
that
pick
I'm
up-
right wing.
That's the Bacon Bad bingo.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's a good year.
Good
Was
year.
it?
You
Yeah.
had
Millennium Bug.
Millennium Bug, which didn't happen. So you had.
I mean,
like,
it happened to my PC. Did you know a PC not? Yeah. Turned on my PC and the clock had set to 1970 something.
What?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Would you
So there
say?
was so the internal clocks on loads of PCs, they basically just didn't ever count for their being the year 2000. So
Which is crazy.
when they got to 1999, 23, 11:59, 59, it reset back to the original. Which now I know from an IT perspective, if you were like using servers and stuff, when the time is out by like even like a couple of seconds or a minute or whatever, it fucks loads of stuff up. So to reset it back to the 70s probably be quite a big problem.
Oh,
So yeah.
It's
But
all right.
it
We've
wasn't
got
a
a
big deal.
1,000 years to get it right.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be long gone. It's 80s week. We were all born in the 80s, right?
no, I was born in 1990.
I was born
Were you
in
born,
1990. Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
You're 80s kid.
Yeah, I'm an 80s. I was born in the 80s.
Yeah.
So Calvin Harris has got no love for either of you.
But he's got love
What?
for you.
What are you, 88?
Yeah,
Nice.
two fat ladies.
Good year, to be fair. Good year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good year. Year of the Monkey. Maybe. I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, is
Oh
it?
no, it's Year of the Dragon.
Oh, that's the good one.
I think.
But that's
I
like
think,
being
yeah,
in
it's right.
Gryffindor at Harry Potter. Like, it's boring. No one
Yeah.
wants to be that.
Slytherin. I would have been in Slytherin, I think.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you
Oh,
got
wait.
a vibe about you.
Goth.
We did. Goth.
Goth vibe. Do you think all the goths are in Slytherin? If a goth
Yeah.
gets put in Hufflepuff, they're just extra moody.
Yeah, because they're like good. They're like goths, but like goody two shoe goths, which is boring.
Yeah.
Like their mums bought their clothes from Hot Topic. It's relevant for our American listeners, which we have over 50% of. So shout out to them.
Yeah,
J.
that's a big
Crew.
surprise. Are we
J.
going
Crew.
Are we going to have to
The
change our
Gap.
references? Because I feel like we're very anglicised. Well, very.
Well, that's
like,
maybe why people come to us. It's election day today. Hope you've got out to vote.
Yeah, you'll be listening. If you'll be listening to this, you'll know what happened.
Hey, maybe you're in line. Maybe you're in line to vote right now, and you're like, "Oh, new episode of my favorite podcast, Baking Bad's come out." And you're like, take my mind off of whether I'll vote for Trump or Biden. In that little queue.
That's what we're here for.
We're
Just hard-hitting political commentary.
political relief. So it was 80s week. I missed the start because I was watching the football. So like the very, very start. So I missed the fun banter at the start of the episode today.
What did they do? It wasn't that memorable, I've got to say.
I didn't even make a note of it, and that's how unmemorable.
Wow.
Yeah, neither did I. You know.
How did the football go? Did we win?
It was like, I can't remember what I was watching. I like watching football on the TV because during this pandemic, even if it's football I like watching something that is happening elsewhere. I gain comfort in knowing that other people are still living and doing stuff.
Yeah, and they're all in a bubble, so they're just, free. That's what I think. I just think you're so free to just like live a
slide
life.
Tackle.
You can slide tackle
Imagine
willy-nilly.
Yeah, imagine we could all slide tackle each other right now. How good that would be.
I'd be. You wouldn't get me off the bloody turf.
Muddy knees. So they had to make 8 quiches.
Quiches.
8 quiche.
How do you feel about quiches? Harry, I'm sure you've got very strong opinions on a quiche.
Yeah.
I like them, but I find I don't know when to eat them.
What?
What
do you mean?
What meal do you have it for? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Don't know. 2,
all the above.
What do you have with it? Or do you just like pure egg it, just choke down a whole quiche, no nothing else? I love eggs as much as the next man, but I've never eaten a bowl of scrambled egg on its own.
Fast food and good for you. Really?
3.
I have.
What have you ever drank the egg like the yolk raw, like you're in Rocky?
No. Have you?
No, of course not.
Have you, Sean?
You get a dicky tummy. No, you get a dicky tummy.
Did you do that on stage one time?
Did I? I think it's definitely something I do on stage.
It's something you would do. It's actually quite a good idea. Drink some eggs and then do push-ups.
Come on to the Rocky theme. Drink some rye.
And then arm wrestle an audience member. That's a classic Sean Ford bit.
Yeah, I want that. I want that to happen.
What's this?
Can I pay for that to happen on Cameo?
If you don't know the comedy of Sean Ford, he's what we call an alternative comedian, and he doesn't really do anything other than wacky bits. Right?
Yeah. He's like that anthill mob in Wacky Races. Yeah. Just you never know what crazy antics they're going to get up to.
He's like, imagine the Wacky Races was a stand-up. That's Sean.
Yeah, he's Dick Dastardly and Muttley all rolled into one.
For the American listeners, that is.
For the So what was your third point on the quiche, Harry? Your 3 point
So
quiche argument?
what was the first one? When
do you eat it?
What with? And
what with?
Yeah, how much of it do you eat? What's a regular amount of quiche to eat for one person? Quarter, slice, half? Or do you eat the whole thing?
Yeah. Sean, what's your feelings on the quiche?
I think I've only ever bought a quiche when it's been reduced at a supermarket. And so like time is on the essence. So it's mostly late at
You
night.
think it's on the turn?
And
right.
I'm eating all of it. Like it's gonna go bad if you leave it to tomorrow. So I just wolf it down.
You used to have a tropical house project called Late Night Quiche, did you not, Sean? Is that?
A good thing to do with a quiche is just get a spoon, eat out the middle, and then reuse the pastry.
Yeah, that's how you get it. Yeah, spoon it out, eat all the little eggy bit, and then get yourself some like Nutella.
Nutella again.
Pour it all out, and then you got this sort of chocolate tart.
Chocolate tartan.
Bon appetit. Yeah, exactly. Waste not, want not.
Imagine you arrived on
Oh.
Bake Off and like where you had to make a tart, and you go, "Well, I hollowed out this quiche."
Or just like fish sliced it out. Oh my
Oh.
god. I used to eat a quiche. Was first year university, Ross Drummond. Quiche was a regular
Was it?
on the menu. Yeah, because you can quiche Lorraine.
Hold on, are you buying it or making it?
Buying it. I don't make anything. Buy a whole quiche Lorraine. I think you're 3 for 2, right? So you get a couple.
Did you get same flavour or?
Yeah, nearly always. I think I never fucked around with like the cheese and onion one. I always got the quiche Lorraine one. Bacon.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so big one though. So like, yeah, what is that like? A bit bigger than a 7-inch record.
8 inches.
And 8 inches, but yeah. And I think what I used to do is I would eat it by itself. One.
Any
Two,
ketchup? Any?
Well, here's how it would work. Because I love ketchup.
Oh yeah,
probably my favorite salad dressing. And I would eat half. I know for a fact I used to eat half, and I remember I eat half. And when I would eat it in quarters, because I'd cut it in half and then quarter that half, and then in separating the quarters on the plate with a larger plate. I used to have black plates at university. That's cool, isn't it?
Oh. On brand.
Goth. So I'd separate it, and then like a parting of the seas, I would then all just ketchup, pile it in, and then I would scoop it out, and then because it would be hot and I'd want to eat it straight away, the ketchup would act as a coolant.
Like we talked about last week.
Yeah. Seriously, I've got all these methods in my life for when rather than just patience. I get technical with it. Yeah,
that's great. When was the last time you've done that?
I don't do it anymore with quiche. I haven't had a quiche. Not done a Moses. Or I call it a Moses. I haven't done a Moses for a while. What I do now is with pork pies, which are one of my favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
Is rather than like using plates because that's a waste of time. I'll take a bite out of a pork pie, and then I will get the ketchup, and I will like cover the top in the pork pie.
Yeah, that's good.
And then pop the rest of it in. Delicious.
Very good.
Sean, you look disgusted.
No, I'm not a big pork pie fan.
Oh, I love it.
like
well, you don't.
pies,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they're my favorite. Melt mulberry, delicious.
Oh, it's the jelly that does it for me. No, thank you.
Yeah.
When I went to Edinburgh in January before the old lockdown, I was staying in like a bedsit with no kitchen. And I got there really late, and my dinner was 6 pork pies.
Oh.
And you know what? It was so
About 3,000
good.
calories
In bed.
Yeah.
With a mug of water from the sink in the bathroom.
Oh god, that's so
See,
bleak.
Sean, if you want to be a real artist, this is the kind of diet you need to eat.
Well, I need to go up to Edinburgh for an unpaid open spot.
You need to live in a bedsit in Edinburgh. Harry's acting out a fucking Irvin Welsh scene from an Irvin Welsh novel.
It is. It's like it's train plot in that.
Pretty cool, if you ask me.
That's real comedy.
How big were the pork pies? Sorry.
Aren't they?
About the size of...
I'll say that big, right?
Hockey puck.
No.
No,
like,
no, bigger.
Like the bottom of this amiibo.
Yeah.
There's
spot on.
That.
Oh, a little treat for the people who are watching the video.
Which is, I'd say, what is a well-known thing that is? Because no one knows what that is.
That's
It's about the size of, if you open your mouth as wide as you can. It's exactly that.
Pie.
It's about the size of, probably very ergonomic. Get it in.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got like a big old chode, it's about That sort of.
Yeah.
Is that a chode? Is that what chode means?
Yeah, chode is a very wide but short penis.
Much like a
Joe
Melton Mulberry
Pesci.
mini pork pie.
So should we
get
do Breaking Bad?
Yeah, sorry.
these quiches then?
You've got the name
I like that we started this podcast and we never start talking about Bake Off for the first 15 minutes. And what have we done? What do you know?
At least we're talking about baked goods this week, right?
Yeah,
this
that
is
is true,
on
yeah.
topic.
We're talking about quiche, yeah. Let us know what your favourite quiche was in the comments.
Yeah, and if you've got any special quiche things like Ross,
stories,
or you
memories.
can answer any of my quiche questions.
I'd also like to eat quiche cold the next day because you cook it, eat half, pop it in the fridge, and then come back to that nice and cold, delicious. Because then you can eat it more like a slice. Like,
do you heat up your tomato ketchup to go with the cold?
I'm not a fucking
in
animal.
a pan?
Just reduce it
In
down.
a bain marie. Don't make sure it doesn't split.
So
still bacon jokes though.
Peter, Peter made a Thai curry, crab, and a salmon quiche. Right?
Now, did he use something with wholemeal pastry?
He probably would, knowing him, gluten-free all the way.
Yeah.
I feel like he has not lived up to the hype. I'm going to say it. He's still in, and he's not one of the shit ones, because there's still some shit ones in. Laura, we're looking at you. You cannot bake, but you're still there. But he's not.
Yeah. No.
He's not reaching those heights.
No. Because he's not adhering. He's not going simple. So when he's doing stuff that's like a bit fancy, he's kind of fucking it up.
Yeah.
So as a result, he's got more negative connotations associated with him. And actually, in my opinion, seeing people that are hyper competitive on a wholesome show like Bake Off is immediately, and I said it last week, he's a psychopath.
Yeah, I think you've got to be competitive, but the only person you should be competitive with is yourself.
Correct. Yeah. Get that caption.
And the oven.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
the
you,
yeast.
yourself, and the proving drawer.
That would actually be a good name for the podcast, The Proving Ground. The Proving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Prove.
We should have a spin-off.
Okay.
Our extra
We'll just do the first 15 minutes of our podcast. We'll call that The Proving Drawer. When it's ready, here's Bacon Bad.
Or we could recap Bake Off the extra slice.
Oh, Christ.
Imagine if we reviewed that instead of talking about what happened in Bacon Bad.
I turned that on the other night, and with a degree of confidence that is unwarranted, went, I should be presenting that.
Who presents it? Is it Tom
Joe
Allen
Brand?
and
Joe Brand.
Yeah.
Oh, I like them both.
Yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. So Peter's ones were very nicely cooked. They were nice. I've got the crab got a bit lost in the curry flavor, but overall pretty good from him.
Very pretty as
Laura,
well.
Very pretty, and then Laura had a pea and a pizza.
Can't resist the pizza. 1 week off.
When I
didn't even think.
I thought Ross is not going to be happy about that.
Sliding a quiche into the pizza oven.
She didn't mention the pizza oven, though. She probably did, though, and they cut it out.
Yeah, it was like that.
They're like, we've run out of B-roll of you cooking pizzas. Stop mentioning it. But she had some leakage, and the pastry was tough, but tasted good.
Now, what I was going to say is these episodes, it was 28 degrees in the tent this day.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what I think, a bit of a conspiracy theory I'd like to swing by your way. See if you bite.
Yeah.
They're saying, look, when you're making the pastry, the fat will melt on the heat and make them sticky, and that's a problem, right? But then I was like, but then all of a sudden, that doesn't make any sense. Because if you whack them when they whack them in the oven, it's 180 degrees. So how is heat a problem?
I think because once you're cooking it, it's got to be higher heat. You know.
Yeah, I've realised my conspiracy theory doesn't really weigh true, but I tried. I wanted to do like flat Earth short crust pastry. I also figured out. So this day was 28 degrees. The day after, so when they do their the technical challenge, that was the hottest day.
Yeah, that was like 39, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I looked up. I know that I checked the dates.
Oh, where was it?
So it was. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So the third hottest day in the country was a Friday, the 31st of July.
Oh.
Thursday, the 30th was. So this was 30th, and I know what I was doing that day. I was collecting my Skoda Fabia estate.
Aircon in that puppy?
Big time. Don't worry about it. Keep that on low.
Yeah, I remember that day I was working from home and it was too hot.
Yes.
I was on furlough. I think I probably went for a walk and made myself a curry.
On.
Shorts on, yep.
Yeah, shorts on, get those legs out for some air. Then we had her Ermine, right, with her classic quiches.
Yeah. And
she said, I love cooking more than I love bacon. And I wrote, well, fuck off to MasterChef then, love.
No, she knows. She
does know I like it.
She, I feel like, on any of the hot food challenges, absolutely smashes it out the park because she just can cook nice food. And I feel like she is the opposite of Dave, who, I mean, we're going to come to him later, but it just sounded absolutely disgusting what he was making. That sausage and scrambled egg quiche. What? But he is good at. He does get the bakes right most of the time. So I feel like although mine does bake.
I broke the box right twice a day, So.
Oh yeah, that's what they say about.
Yeah, mine does good. And she pulled out of the bag. She nearly flopped that one.
Yeah, she was very late.
Yeah.
But it was slightly undercooked, but they said it was very, very nice. Absolutely delicious.
Is that the one that Paul took for his lunch? Didn't someone say they took a quiche for his lunch? Was it Ermine's?
Well, might have been, because they properly paused on her when they took a mouthful.
Yeah, I feel like that was, if she... couple more minutes in the oven, and I reckon that would have been a handshake.
Yeah.
He's not giving them out.
Very few handshakes, yeah.
He's not giving them out willy-nilly this series. He knows it's got to be perfect. Like, even though it was so nice, it was slightly underbaked, so it doesn't get a handshake. It's got to be 10 out of 10.
So then we had Dave's novel quiches.
So we had scrambled egg and sausage and avocado.
Beef and avocado. Beef and avocado.
Absolutely bizarre.
Like beef, not ham, not...
with bird's eye chilies on it.
Yeah.
Just on the top.
Is that what they were? I just got...
Beef and avocado. What would you like with your roast dinner? Can you pop an avocado on the side, please? What?
Guax 50p extra.
Exactly. Oh, rank. And then they took a bite out of them. They went, this don't sound like they'll be very good. Then they bit into them and they went, we were right. Overspiced. I thought to myself, I always like to tar, I feel like do you think Dave owns like a lot of hot sauces? Like,
definitely.
Like, holy shit, my butthole sauce. Like all those, like,
for sure.
Yeah, bragging about like, I wouldn't go in there if I were you. Be like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasted minging.
Looked minging, sounded minging, tasted minging.
And then we had Lottie, who was making a full English quiche that had baked beans in it
Ugh.
and a salad
one.
quiche.
Yeah, beetroot and baked beans.
Mm. Not for
Yeah.
me.
No.
They did say they couldn't really taste the baked beans, which
Thank
is
God.
good. So
Yeah,
she
that
did.
proves like I don't like baked beans.
Who doesn't like baked beans?
Yeah, and Paul Holly was like, I don't like baked beans either. I was like, I don't really. They're so inoffensive.
How do you like your baked beans?
That's a brilliant question.
I like to cook mine a lot, so they're quite thick. I'd say
really?
I like a sort of overcooked. I don't like it too runny.
Interesting. I've never even thought that there was a different variation. The options I had in my head are hot or cold.
I didn't even
I
know
like
you could
them
have it
thick.
cold.
Wow.
No,
I would just say, yeah, I don't know.
I think
Hard.
I'm quite particular about how you serve them. Like if it's on just with like a fry up or a full English, put it in like a little pot. Put it in. I don't want it going
Wow.
leaching into my eggs, leaching into my
Wow.
sausages, that kind of stuff. That's where I can get
I'll tell
quite
you what.
particular.
I say leech away.
I'll tell you what I do like.
What's-
Call back. Ketchup and baked bean sauce together.
You're
Get
a
that in.
madman.
you child.
Full of that. Baked beans and then a little ketchup on top. Oh.
Oh my god.
Because it's the warm, it's flavors, it's temperatures, textures with the beans, the vinegar of the ketchup. Delicious.
It's a lot of tomato.
It's a complex palate.
I just like them thick. And I will say on your point, Sean, if you have them thick, you put them on the plate and they don't really, there's not a lot of excess liquid.
Yep, I'll give you that. I will give you that.
You know,
Do you have an allegiance to a particular brand? Of
beans means Heinz, baby.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, what are you going
You
to say?
sound like my mum. I'll get whatever.
No.
I know.
I would rather go hungry than eat beans that weren't from Heinz.
The thing is, I find, look, I'll eat
Same
them.
with my ketchup.
I won't go hungry, but I find the other ones are more liquidy. And as you know,
Takes
I
longer
like-
to reduce down, yeah.
like them and then you reduce them down and you've got an egg cup full. If we're serving them your way, sure.
Oh god, no! I'll take beans.
What about ketchup? What would you have?
No, I'm not a child, so I don't eat ketchup.
You don't have
No, I'm not a big fan of sauces in general.
really?
I'd have
No.
ketchup and brown sauce with the fry up, but I wouldn't use it that much with the beans, you know, because I feel like eating a fry up is a bit like playing jazz, you know. It's like because you've got all the elements, and you're not every mouthful is never each mouthful. You might have a whole meal, but every mouthful is different combination.
It's the mouthfuls you don't take. That's what makes it good.
It is because you're like, oh, there's no bean on that. And you can taste.
What I would say is I wouldn't want the beans near my toast.
You wouldn't want
when you get the
beans?
bread on the side and they've got when you got the bread on the side and then they get a bit of bean on that.
You don't like that?
What about beans in toast in general?
No, that's
I love
common
beans
man
on
thing.
toast.
Oh, I love it. I have it. I'd say at least
You just
twice
told me
a
I'm
week.
not a child,
Yeah,
and then
I
you
have it
just
twice
said
a
I
week. I genuinely do.
Like you're living in a bloody Irving Welsh novel now.
In
Like
working from home times, it's like, what are you having for lunch every day? You can't have beans on toast. I'm not made of money.
it just to me, I'd rather go hungry. I think it feels so unfulfilling.
What do you have for lunch? What did you have for lunch today?
What did I have for lunch today?
Ketchup sandwich.
What did I have for lunch today?
I had hot dogs
Oh yeah.
with ketchup and mustard and crispy onion.
I had a BLT
Ooh,
with vegan bacon. Delish.
VLT. So you had tomatoes.
Yeah, it was delish.
I had some
What did you have?
crumpets.
How many?
Crumpets for lunch.
3. I was going to have a soup as well, but I was just quite busy at work, and then I
Soup
had an
and
early
crumpets.
dinner. No, I was going to have because I didn't have breakfast, so then I had crumpets at 12. But I was like, I'm still going to be hungry, so I'll have soup at 1:30. But I didn't end up having it, and then I had an early dinner.
What did you have for your dinner?
I had a roast dinner. I had leftover roast from Sunday.
Ooh.
Nice.
But I didn't have as the meat. This is actually, I didn't expect to talk about this. I instead of meat, because it was just leftover, so you don't have everything left, right? For the meat, I had corn chicken nuggets.
In replacement of?
Yeah,
or you said that was your Sunday roast?
No, because on Sunday we had nut roast, but we had some frozen chicken nuggets, corn chicken nuggets.
Yeah, they're nice.
Whacked them on. Got some left. Did the whole bag. So
love it. Yeah, that'd be a nice little snack.
They're good. They're good with ketchup, actually.
Yeah,
a corn chicken nugget is just a ketchup vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I like. What's my favorite type of food? Ketchup vehicle. Then we had the technical challenge. 6 custard and jam finger donuts.
Yeah. What do you think?
Now, I was excited about this. I was excited about this because deep fat fryer.
Yeah.
I love my deep fat fryer.
Dangerous.
Danger. It's not really.
Do you use it a lot? Where was the last thing you deep fat fried?
I deep fat fried chicken wings in it.
Oh.
I did buffalo chicken wings and chips in the deep fat fryer. So I made my own chips and I made, deep fried the wings, baked them in some bacon. You put them in, cover them in bacon powder and salt, and that dries all the skin out.
Oh, extra
and then
crispy.
Deep fry them, and then you get the really crispy skin. Delicious. And then you just take a whole thing of Frank's hot sauce and a big block of butter and some honey. Mix it all together, melt that in the microwave, and then just pour it over. That's a good time.
That does sound nice.
Yeah, so I did that. But the thing with the deep fat fryer is deep fat frying stuff's dead easy. It's actually an incredibly quick way to cook stuff. Incredibly unhealthy as well, but the cleanup afterwards, because you've just got this box filled with oil. You can't pour it down the sink anymore, apparently. So
illegal.
You've got illegal. You don't want to end up with what are they called? Fatbergs.
Yeah.
So it's just the cleanup of it's gross, and the oil is unsurprisingly very greasy. So
I find it when I use it as well, it's in my clothes for days.
Yeah. But I've never made donuts. I've made deep fried Mars bars in deep fat fryer before, which are delicious. And I couldn't believe Peter, Mr. Scotland, pulling the Scotland card was then I've never deep fried anything. It's like, mate, don't pander and then all of a sudden be holier than thou. So that's also pissed me off about him tonight. What do I do? I'll stick your fucking face in it, mate.
They all had wet towels on their neck for this.
Yeah, little chamois. I've never used that as a cold technique, really.
No, neither have I.
When I used to work in a central London cinema, right, and it was really old. It's been recently done up, actually, and it had no aircon in the lobby where I was working. Obviously, you got the popcorn heaters, and what I used to do was I used to run my hat, because I used to have to wear a cap, right? I used to run it under the tap, put some ice in my hat,
the cap,
and then put the cap on.
No, you didn't.
And I used to, my fate, I used to just, as the ice melted, I used to just have drip down my face as I was
Key and Peele sketch.
as I was serving customers. And they obviously just would have thought I was just
Get
sweating.
assaulted. Well, you're getting salt because I'm sweating into your popcorn.
Oh,
There were some people, though, that I would say were sweating that much. Natural.
Yeah.
So no one called you out on it because
With
they're
your
like,
ice
oh,
hat.
he's a sweater. like blowing puffs of water out
How
my
long do you think
moustache.
the ice lasted on your atop your head? How long did the ice last? Solid.
It lasts quite a while, I would say, because it's under the cap, so it's almost like a fridge in there.
Yeah.
So
How long you just
that was my technique.
basically just. What did you do? How do you keep cool at work? I just drench my head in water.
And ice.
But the ice is water. Yeah. Like the ice is like, oh no, it's ice. I've not poured water over my head. It's just ice to keep it cool.
Because you've got an ice machine there, so it's unlimited ice.
I'd have just stuck my hands in it or whatever.
Ice in your pockets, whatever you want.
Down your pants.
have you been there since it's been done up? Do you know if they've got aircon
No,
now?
I've just walked past, but it looks like it's got aircon. It's very.
It's not allowed in. They're like, get that sweaty man out of the establishment, please. So they had the finger donuts, and they all did all right, apart from Dave.
And we shared some WhatsApps.
We were
about
chatting on WhatsApp.
Dave's baked potato looking donut.
Sean said they look like dog dirt.
And then he cut it open and he said, oh
They were
no, they look like bread inside. I think it's the outside you want to be worried about, mate. Looks like a freshly dug up spud.
Mary Piper. Like a custard cream Mary Piper, sir. No, thank you. Yeah, so he flopped it. Yeah, the rest of them, they all did all right.
Yeah,
Nice color.
Dave came last.
Yeah, Dave came last. Lottie came fifth. A little bit dark, needed more consistency. Then Laura, over-fried, a bit messy. Mark, we didn't really hear much from Mark this week.
He was
Thus
just
far.
steady.
Yeah.
He was steady. And then we had Peter second.
Yeah, second, and then Ermine first. And I was like, right, Ermine. I said last week, I think, and if we had a professional editor, I would have it edit in now where I said it. But I said Ermine's going to win, and I still stand by that.
She going into this, she's the only one that hasn't been Star Baker, which is mad because she's been overall one of the best. I think she's sort of been second or third pretty much every week.
Yeah.
So she's absolutely nailed on for Star Baker after these first two. And again, we talked about that in the WhatsApp because I was rooting for her because, you know, she deserves it. And I think she's not a very forceful character, but I think over the series, she's grown into a big fan favorite.
And it was after this Doughnuts, I was like, Dave is gone this week.
Yep. I think we all said in the group that
yeah, we're like, he's done. But then we had the showstopper.
Yeah, the ice cream cake. And when they sort of teased it before the adverts, then it was like, maybe Dave's not gone because there's going to be some massive fuck-ups in this. And I think...
The massive fuck-ups there were. I
think, again, it wasn't really about baking this challenge. It was about being a student of the show. And if you're a student of the show, you know it's going to be hot. It's always hot. Even if it's not the hottest day of the year, you know, it's in the summer. You're in the tent. The lights are hot.
Yeah.
You got to do something that's going to stand up to the heat of the kitchen.
Literally. Yeah. Yeah. If it's too hot, it's time to get out of the kitchen. And well, Peter said he loved ice cream too much. That's what he said.
So that's my favorite interest. I love ice cream. Oh, do you? You love ice cream?
Aren't you? Oh, cool. Yeah.
What's your favourite flavour ice cream, by the way?
Neapolitan.
That's my
Cheap.
favourite one. That is my favourite one. Because you just don't get bored of it. It's just every spoonful is just a surprise. Yes.
I mean, it's a 1 in 3 chance of one of 3 things. I don't know.
No, but you can do combinations of them.
Okay.
Go on. What's your? Can I guess yours?
Yeah,
It's
go
gonna be
on.
like a rum and raisin.
No, mint
I'm
chocolate. Mint chocolate.
not your auntie.
Tutti frutti.
What? No, I just like. I don't know. It's different now because I think back in the day, what do you have? You had vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. That's your lot,
Yep,
right?
it's
And then
Neapolitan.
obviously
Mint
the Neapolitan.
Raspberry Ripple.
Yeah, right. But now it's every flavor. If you go to Italy, you can get whatever you like. You can get a sorbet, you get an ice cream. So I think it's quite hard.
And then you've got the sort of
we get like the Ben and
supermarket
Jerry
flavors. Yeah, the Ben and Jerry's, like cookie dough,
like,
all of them.
Yeah, so I like all that stuff. But cookie dough is just frozen cookie dough. It's not ice cream.
Also, just since as I've mentioned that I worked in a cinema, again, what I used to do as well, I used to work on the Ben and Jerry's, right? And I used to just
Ben and Jerry's.
I used to just have a spoon in my pocket and just eat the ice cream straight out the top.
Well, like a cool guy with a lighter at the party. You were just like,
I was just because you don't want to get caught, but it's just in my pocket. I just yeah, there we go. Back in. I'm using that spoon again on another ice cream, and I've just used it on the peanut one. So
yeah, COVID. Not in this climate. Just picturing you just sweating ice water into the ice cream, so it's all getting frosty. And then the manager comes on shift. She's like, "There's tiny little scoops of ice cream missing from everywhere," and you with this fucking little spoon popping out your top pocket. Like,
no, I'll tell you what we had to do there, though, and this is going to make you say you're right for stealing the ice cream. Right, we had this manager, and he said, when you scoop the ice cream and put it in the tub, you have to weigh it to make sure it's the right weight, because over scooping is theft. That's what he used to say. He said, if you're over scooping, that's theft. I said, no, do you know what's theft? All this ice cream in my belly.
Oh God! I'm glad we have a name for this place.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't know where it is because I
leave your apron in the break room, Harry. You're fired.
Were you sacked from that job, Harry?
No, actually wasn't. I was one of the best employees. That's not even. It was so bad. Like it was so bad. But then you pay people minimum wage and treat them like shit. They're not going to do a good job. So fuck them.
Is that the one they used to let people in for free burgers in exchange for a burger?
That is the place. But that actually stopped. That was like a thing before my time, but basically there's a Burger King opposite. So if you know your Leicester Square cinemas, you know which one this is. The guys in Burger King used to give the people that worked in our cinema free food if they let them in the cinema for free, and it was like a ongoing deal.
And you were like, I'll let you have free ice cream, but I'll have to feed it to you like a little baby bird because they got this spoon.
Yeah, so that was.
I like that job. It sounds like a laugh. That job.
Yeah,
it was a laugh. It was a laugh in some ways,
Oh, God.
So sorry, we've digressed a lot tonight, but we're having a good time. So Peter made his ice cream Christmas cake,
and it did look really, really fair.
Yeah, I thought he's put a little brandy in it. That's pandering to Prue as well, which I thought, absolute bootlicker. But it looked great. It was absolutely delicious, and they were really impressed with his frozen brandy ice cream.
Yeah.
Too much fruit.
Then we had Ermine with the holiday ice cream cake.
Yeah, very small,
Mango and coconut.
which is she knows what she's doing. That's
Yeah.
gonna freeze like that.
She said, I'll quote what she said, playing it simple. It's like she'd listened to this very podcast.
Yeah. And she's got mango. She's got coconut. It looks
fresh.
elegant.
On a hot day as well. Like you've given the flavour.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, fuck yeah, this is good.
Yeah. So she smashed it. Really looked great. Tasted nice. Well balanced. They loved it.
Yeah. Then we had Mark,
who did a retro ice cream parlor, which looked great as well. And he kept it frozen, which I think in this challenge was good.
Then we had Laura with her Death by Chocolate.
And she forgot to turn the ice cream machine on.
Big mistake.
Pressure.
Yeah. She was like, I forgot to press the button that makes it ice cream.
That was 40 minutes in.
Oh,
It's been slopping around in there like a slush puppy for 40 minutes.
And then she did then pop a brownie in it, which she then froze. And I like that bit where Paul Hollywood was just like mansplaining how he's like, how should a brownie taste? She's like, gooey in the middle. He's like, well, why did you freeze it then?
But then overall, it did taste nice, which I think was what saved her, because the other disaster was Lottie, who, again, her cake melted. It was obviously going to melt because she had the ice cream on the outside. Paul flagged it up and it looked a mess. And then it tasted like shit as well.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Sean, about Laura?
Oh, well, at least she made a cake. In comparison to Lottie, even though it was messy and it was all melty,
yeah, that's the thing.
She
like,
made something and they gave it to her. And it was, you couldn't say it wasn't what she was doing.
I love the bit where there was like the bit where Laura's like, look, mine's dripping. Is it going to make you feel better? And Laura was like, no. And then cut to Lottie's looked like a fucking, it'd been a sort of a mudslide.
Oh.
But before we get into Lottie, we can talk about Lottie's now. So she changed it. She was like, oh, this week I was doing it in a square thing and I changed it to a cassette. And Paul Hollywood, and she was like, I remember you saying this is never going to work. And I didn't listen.
Yeah, when she changed it, wasn't she like checking the weather, thinking,
yeah, it might be hot this week. Perhaps my freestanding ice cream cake might melt.
Very poor.
You know? So yeah, it looks terrible and they didn't get anything from it. So that was Lottie in her 80s mixtape. But yeah, we had Dave's tiramisu.
I'm a big fan of tiramisu. It's one of my favorite puddings
as well. Yeah. Do you like tiramisu, Sean?
What's that?
You like tiramisu?
I don't think I've ever had it.
That's another one for the list.
I think I've had it as a child and just been like, it's like
probably
the equivalent
wouldn't
of
have
having,
liked it as a child.
Yeah, I think it's like the equivalent of having like roasted parsnips and thinking they're chips. Like you think a tiramisu is going to be lovely, but then you bite into it as a kid and you're like, oh, tastes like fags.
Yeah. Which obviously as a kid you knew the flavour of, so.
Oh yeah, I grew up in a working class
Slough school diet. What are you, tiramisu? No, these are cigarettes. Obviously Slough is in the north. From my accent.
It's the north of the south, they say.
Yeah. Get down to mine.
Oh,
Bernard Manning and tiramisu. Yeah, so Dave's tiramisu, if I was a voiceover, I would have said, because he had a bit where he was piping ice cream, and I'd have gone, can Dave pull it out of the piping bag?
Oh,
that'd have been a nice little...
You're wasted on this podcast.
I know. His piped on ice cream, I thought looked like bird shit.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I mean, he fucked that up, and he sort of knew it, but he didn't want to just give a plain cake.
Yeah.
But overall, like, it was neat. the cake and tasted good, and you sort of felt like you saved yourself here, Dave, with a mediocre cake. That's how bad Lottie and Laura did.
Yeah. The other thing I point out is it was 35 degrees on this day, right? You notice, because it was filmed over 2 days, they make them wear the same clothes one day after the next. So they either have to wash them, finish filming and immediately wash their clothes, or they just stink.
I reckon they get them cleaned.
Yeah, they get them
dry cleaned.
Professionally cleaned.
Service.
Yeah. There's a great bit where like Laura and Lottie were stressing out, and then Laura's like, I think we're all in the same boat. Everyone's worried with the heat. And then Lottie just went, Peter isn't worried. Peter's making holly. And it just cut to little serial killer Peter with his little knife and fork making a little holly like a murderer. Yeah, so Laura's didn't set, collapsed in the freezer. Yeah. Lottie, and then that was the end of it. Really, writing was on the wall. I was surprised. I think Noel, as you pointed out, Sean, Noel tried to save Lottie.
Yeah, I think he threw Laura under the bus. It was like
he's
been in the bottom few for the past few weeks and stuff. Yeah. It's like, oh no, be a bit more.
He called Lottie Catface, didn't he? He had a little pet name for her. Yeah.
That was cute, I guess.
Yeah. So Star Baker this week.
Mine.
Yeah, smashed.
The one and only. Well deserved.
And then leaving the tent.
Catface herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it.
I think a lot of people are upset about that. She was very popular, but I think at this stage, she's got
the most followers of all of them on Instagram thus far.
Has she?
Not surprised about that.
Yeah. Cool.
There is one last thing we should mention.
Oh yeah, big week on our YouTube.
What's happened?
Slough. There's a lot of Slough chat.
A lot of Slough chat. Organic Slough chat, Sean.
A lot of people are wondering where this Japanese garden is in Slough, and a lot of Slough natives like yourself.
What would you call yourself if you're from Slough?
Slavian?
Slavian?
Slowistani? No, that's not. That's too much. Slough. I'm a person of Slough. I prefer that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we had Alex D. He's like, a lot of people found our podcast this week Googling Slough Japanese garden. Yeah. So shout out to Google for their algorithm. Alex D thought it might be the Stoke Pogues Memorial Garden.
Stoke Pogues, yep.
Pogues. Who's that?
So that is in Slough. My Auntie Margaret used to work there. I've been there. It's definitely not that.
No.
Well, if they're calling that a Japanese garden, then someone needs to get their eyes tested because no way. It's
I'm
also
looking at it, and I think it could be.
Well, you go there in person.
It's got
more Hiroshima than
than Kyoto. Yeah,
it's got what look like cherry blossoms.
You think? All right,
this is it, man. This is it.
No, it's not. Look at that.
Yeah, because we also had Jessica Case. I was born in Slough and lived there the majority of my life, and then wrote in all caps, "What Japanese garden?" Fair point, Jessica. We didn't know either.
We're just going into lockdown. Otherwise, I would have suggested we go on an
Now, here's another one we got last night. Just watched Bake Off on Catch Up. Went to school and lived in Slough for years, says Lucy W. Thought it must have changed a bit, but possibly not going by these posts. Anyone found it yet? Is it possible there's one at the Sony building?
The Sony building?
That could be
Sony
it.
Building?
Maybe she worked at Sony. Or in the building.
Or maybe Cliveden? There's one there.
Cliveden?
What's Cliveden?
I don't know. There's one. That's in Maidenhead. I wouldn't call that in Slough.
Oh.
I've been to that place. I went. There's it's like a Buddhist retreat near there, but
Okay.
that's not in Slough. But I understand where that person's coming from. We should go. Yeah, if it wasn't a lockdown, we
could go to all these places.
Let's go to Fabia Estate.
Yeah, we get in, jump in, and we'll.
Will the show have been ended by the time lockdown's lifted? Is the question.
Probably not. Yeah.
So what is it? When is it? A month.
Yeah.
So it's 4 more weeks. How many? Yeah. Oh,
unless we can say that this is our main source of income and thus is a business, and we have to do a business trip to Slough.
Are you guys still getting paid for this?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I've been sending my backs details over. I've not received anything yet.
That's awkward. So Sean, if you could maybe check in with your family this week.
I'll put out some feelers.
Yeah. So what did you say? Your nan worked at the.
My Auntie Margaret
Borges.
worked there.
Auntie Margaret, sorry.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like it's like an event space. It's like a big building where you can get
I can't remember what Hermione does. Is she not an accountant?
She's a training. Well, she's now. I've checked on her Instagram. She's a trained accountant now, but during filming, she was a training accountant. So who knows what she was doing before that? Like she could have worked in hospitality. She could have worked in this
There's a big hospital
Sony
nearby.
building.
I think that's the biggest employer. So if she is talking about Stoke Poges, she could be working at Wexham Park Hospital. Yeah,
it's possible. It's possible.
We
need to. Maybe I'll DM her.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
let's get her on the podcast.
I'm going to DM her and see if we can get in contact with her.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look forward to that.
And then next week we're back to normal. We've had Japanese week. We've had 1980s week. We've all had a bit of fun. Desert week next week.
I feel like I better be a good week this week. I think these past 2 weeks have been really quite memorable weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the wackiness of them, you know?
Yeah.
80s, Japanese, whatever next.
Desserts.
Bit of fun.
Exactly.
And yeah, from the...
Go on.
I was going to say, from the trailer, it doesn't look like good news for Laura.
Yeah,
I think she was struggling.
She always gets out of it, though.
Super cut of her just going, oh Christ. You know. My favorite bit from this week of Laura was almost fridge magnet worthy. She was like, it's like a giant tub of ice cream is good, but a giant tub of wine is better.
Oh, that's so on brand.
Yeah. Banter.
Stay
Should
calm,
try to have a
drink
bit of banter.
wine, you know.
Yeah. I always cook with wine. Sometimes I even put it in the food. Oh, look now! There we go. So yeah, let us know in the YouTube if you're watching this. Let us know in the comments what you thought this week. But yeah,
and if you're listening on iTunes, the podcast app, give us a 5-star review.
Give us a 5-star review.
We need it.
We need the podcast equivalent of a Star Baker, of a Hollywood handshake.
Yeah.
You know, slide your ham hock hands over to the iTunes review page and click 5 stars, please.
Also, follow the Jerk Store on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter.
Subscribe on the YouTube.
Yeah, sub to the YouTube channel at the Jerk Store.
At Harry Monaghan. At R Drummond Comedy. And I'm at Nike Town Official. Feel free to drop me a detail.
John, are you gonna create an artwork account for your new art?
Maybe. For the listeners, I've recently become a professional artist. Maybe I could do bake-off themed art.
Oh my god!
I could do that next week. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could do. We could make Bacon Bad merch and we'll sell it.
Oh, no one would want to buy my merch.
handcrafted,
Yeah, I'll do a screen
printed by
Yeah, Paul
Tom Ford.
Hollywood's
Yeah, they would.
face.
Get it on, Yeah, if you do a Paul Hollywood face on a screen print, I don't care if anyone else does.
I'll do it.
I want it.
I'll do it next week. I'll have something to share. A little treat for the people who watch the video.
I think I'll play some. Let's see, what shall I play for Lottie's leaving?
I think it has to be something from the 80s.
I'm going to play some Viking rock.
Yeah,
Her
that's so
favorite
much
genre of music.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Which artist are you going for? Because there's a few.
I'm going to go for Corpiclani.
Ah,
Oh,
they're like
classic.
the Beatles of Viking rock, yeah.
I would hate the band.
All right. Corpiclani. Right. I guess we'll see you next time then, eh?
See you next time.
Ta-ra.